with the whole um everything got messed up with all these different services, I actually was unable to do this yesterday. So, today we're going to talk about creating a course as an online teacher, how to know if you're ready, and what kind of class that you should be creating. So, a lot of you are doing like the one-on-one or the group live classes, and we want to talk about different course types that you can do and if you should be doing them. Okay. So, you're already teaching online, right? So you're already teaching your one-on-one classes. Maybe you're teaching for a company, maybe you're teaching independently. But have you ever thought about taking the knowledge that you have and the knowledge that you can give to your students and actually creating a course? So a lot of times people will be saying like, oh, you should do this, but is that really right for you? So today we're going to talk about how to take that next step and whether right now is the right time for you or not, and some different options that you can do as well. All right. So teaching live is rewarding, but it's time limited. So there are only so many students that you can teach at a time when you're teaching live classes. So that's why I moved up. And I'm sorry, I have like hay on me. This is what happens. I was in the barn and then I was like, I'm doing this now. So a lot of us start with one-on-one classes. That's how I started. And then I realized that I could make more money by charging my students less and having more than one student in a class. So I started doing group lessons. But even with group lessons, there's a limit to what you can do and what you can accomplish, right? There's a limit to how many students that you can help. So each lesson requires real time presence and energy, which can be very draining and taxing for a teacher. There's freedom and scalability. So courses are going to create the freedom to reach beyond your schedule while you are building your sustainable growth. So you're going to be able to say here's where you're capped at for your one-on-ones, and then here's where you're capped at for your group live classes. But there really is no cap when you're doing courses, because you can't say like, oh, I'm fully booked, because you can add as many students into those courses as possible. And you don't have to add more live teaching hours to your week. So a lot of the teachers in Teacher Boss Society, they've gone through the Enroll and Grow Challenge, right? They've gone through different challenges to help build their business. They've made their website, they've made their scheduling system, and they're fully booked. This is the next step. If you're looking to scale your business after you're fully booked, this is the next step that you can take, is creating these courses. So what does creating a course actually mean? So you have proven lessons. So the material that you're going to use the material that you've already refined through teaching. It's not going to be just some, throw it together and sell it to students. This is stuff that you already know works. It's the material that you already know. You're already teaching this to your students. You already know that it works for your students live, and you want to scale those classes and reach people that can't make it into a live class. Maybe you're fully booked again. You're going to have a structured system. So you don't want to just put stuff together and hope that they can follow it. And I've seen so many teachers do this. You don't want to do that. You need to have a structured system, just like you do in your live classes, right? Like say you're teaching your live one-on-one classes or your live group classes, and you go and you teach to like Abridge Academy or Florentis Learning, or you teach through your VIP kid modules. You know how those are all structured? You need the same kind of structure for your live lessons or for your pre-recorded lessons as well. And then scalable impact, you teach once and then you can help many students. And this is really good because, and I think I'm going to get into this later, but you can do this for a couple of different things. You can offer this to students when you're fully booked and you can't take any more students on. You can offer it as a prerequisite to your courses. So maybe you teach a trial and you say, okay, well, I'd like them to learn XYZ first. So you're going to take this lesson first and then come in here. You can do it as an add-on to your lessons. So like an upsell, you can do it as a downsell. How many times have you had somebody say, well, I can't really afford that, but I want to learn from you? Okay, well, then you can do this. You can also add a group, club, coaching, mentorship, VIP package to go along with it. So maybe in addition to the live course, they have say 12 weeks or 6 weeks or 4 weeks or however long of VIP classes too, where they would have maybe a group lesson every Saturday at 9. Okay. So there are so many different ways that you can do a course like this, and it gets to be really fun. I don't want to overwhelm you, but I just want you to know that this creating a course, if you're ready for it, can work for you in any part of your business. It can work for you if you're fully booked. It can work for you if you want to supplement your income. It can work for you for so many different reasons. Okay. So, why do courses change everything? So, first of all, you're going to create time freedom. You're going to break free from your dollar for or hour for dollar model, and you get to be in charge of your schedule again, which is really good, especially like the time changes. We're going to have the time changing here soon. We'll fall back. If you're in one of the states that does that, the time is going to change, and then suddenly it's it's now an hour sooner that you would have to wake up. Um, and that's kind of something that if you're teaching students in China, that becomes difficult for some teachers, especially those in like California, where it's like a 15-hour difference. You can add income streams. So people can book your classes and start taking your classes without you ever, like, you could wake up and have a new student that you've never even met. And then you have a new lead to your one-on-one or group classes. You have more income coming in. You have the ability to teach them something. You can reach global students from every single time zone without conflicting schedules. And you can build yourself as the expert. You establish yourself as the expert, you build your authority in the subject, and you create a lasting impact for your students so that when they're ready for the next step, they're going to come to you for it. Okay. So how do you know if you're ready? So if you have developed a proven method, your students are consistently reaching the results that they're looking to reach using whatever you're teaching them. So you are getting results. You are progressing your students. You repeat the same lessons often. So if you're finding that you're coming in and, like, for me, right, I'm always doing the same writing lessons for my students. I'm always, I have a scheduled thing. So I do the create a superhero lesson, and then I do the lessons where we're talking about creative writing, and I do the lessons where they have to write a story about finding an egg and what's in the egg. Those are all lessons that I am constantly doing with my students. When I get a new group of students, I've mastered it. I can turn that now into a course. You know your ideal student. So if you were in Enroll and Grow, and you can let me know in the comments here, if you were in Enroll and Grow and you did it, or if you've ever done any niche training and you know who your ideal student is, then you already have clarity on who you can help and what problems you can help solve for them. By the way, let me know who's watching this. I can't see who's watching this, but I would love to know. So just let me know in the comments here who's here or where you're watching from. Like, are you in the UK? Are you in California? Are you in Canada? Are you in South Africa? Okay. And then you're excited to scale. So you are excited to reach more students without burning out. And this really gets you excited. Okay. So if these sound like you, Brenda says, I'm an Enroll and Grow. Girl, you know my name, Jiluan. My name is Jiluan today. I know that's a typo. Okay. So you are excited to do this, then this is something that you might be ready for. All right. If you are still finding your niche, you don't really know who your ideal student is, you're kind of like gambling with different things, um, then you're not going to be ready yet. You need to know that information. If you don't have consistent results yet, so you're still trying to figure out what works for your students and you need more proof of what works, then you're not ready yet. And if you're feeling burnt out with the students that you already have, if you add a course project, if you try to develop a course right now, it's probably going to create more stress. So give it a little bit of time. If that's the case, give it a little bit of time to like die down whatever you have to kind of let it settle down a little bit so that you can start this and actually put the grit in that you're going to need to put in to do that. You're in Bulgaria. It's late here. It is 3:43. I was gonna go live yesterday, at, 1 PM Eastern Standard Time, but, the Amazon AWS system was down, and that made, like, a whole bunch of technology not work, and, Restream was one of them. Alright, if you need to clarify all of this, you need students, you need to organize your schedule so you don't feel overwhelmed, you need to find your niche. I would highly recommend to join Teacher Boss Society, and you can find that, www.teacherboss society.com, and you can join the Enroll and Grow Challenge. That's not what this video is about, but if that is something where you're like, "Okay, I need to get all these things in place," I can help you with that, okay? All right. So there are 5 different course types, and we're going to talk about the different course types. So first of all, there's Evergreen. Evergreen is available anytime for self-paced learning. So they can log in, they can watch it at any point in time. This gives you and your students maximum flexibility. Evergreen means that you make it once and it's out there forever. Okay. There are live classes. This is what you're doing with your live classes, most likely, right? Um, in your live classes, you're doing one-on-ones or group, you have a lot of engagement, you have a lot of immediate feedback. That's why I recommend to do live classes first because you're going to get a lot of immediate feedback. Um, Hybrid, you're going to have a mix of recorded and live elements. So that's balanced. And that is what Teacher Boss Society is a hybrid because you have the live recordings or you have the live coaching, you have the live challenges, and then you have the replays. So if you're coming into this now, we did Enroll and Grow back in March or something. You can still go back and watch the March challenges. Brenda says Teacher Boss Society is awesome. Thank you. There's mini, so you have a small focused topic in bite-sized formats. These are quick to create. And then there's cohort, which is also like Teacher Boss Society, where students are moving together as a group doing something, and this is community driven. So I would classify my course with Teacher Boss Society as hybrid and cohort. But a lot of students are taking, or a lot of teachers are taking the older challenges as they come in because they need that established. Okay. So you can think about this when you go to start your own course. What kind of course are you going to do? Are you going to be doing um, a mini course? Are you going to be doing an evergreen course? Are you going to be doing live courses? And that's what I recommend doing if you haven't done anything else. Are you going to be doing a cohort course? Um, I'm doing The one that I'm doing is kind of a combination the one that I'm a student in, the Horse Help Challenge, is kind of a combination of, like, cohort and hybrid and evergreen. It's kind of like all 3. It's more cohort, but I'm behind everybody else, and you can join at any point in time, so which is why it's, like, evergreen. It's like a 30-day horse help challenge, with the horse guru. It's really cool. Highly recommended if you have a horse, but this is the course that I'm a student in right now. And you can join at any point in time. It's a 30-day free challenge. You can upgrade to VIP, and all the students move together as a group. There's live coaching every Wednesday. So, tomorrow's coaching, and I get to go on my Zoom call, and I get to be the student instead of the teacher for once, which is so cool. Um, it's also an experience for me because this is the first time that I don't know anything. And I'm like the struggling student. I've been on the other side working with struggling students so many times, but for me to be the struggling student, it is definitely something I'm learning from. Um, so just kind of some things to think about. Um, so which one fits you best? You're going to choose based on your teaching style. So if you love live teaching, then maybe you want live or cohort. If you want flexibility, then you want evergreen or hybrid. And if you're new to courses, you might want to go for a mini course just to test it out. You can always evolve. You can always try something else out later. Um, Brenda says hybrid is the best. So, maybe that's something that you like. Okay. Everybody's going to have their own preference. Cohort is great. I like cohorts because you get to work with the other students and you're not just depending on the information that you're getting from the instructor. Or you're not just getting the information that you're getting from the course, you're actually getting information from the other students as well. So, say like in Teacher Boss Society, for example, somebody posts something in the group and they post a poll like, hey, which one do you like better? I'm not the know all end all. I can guide you through your teaching journey, but I'm not, what I think might be best might not be what your students think is best. And it might not be what other teachers think is best. So, we post that poll in there and we vote on the poll and see what the collaborative community thinks of that. Right. I like a combo of them all. Yeah. That's kind of like where hybrid comes in, right? Where it's kind of like a little bit of different things. I love the cohort part of it. So, what you guys want to know, how to create your first course. First of all, you're going to pick a problem to solve. Focus on a specific challenge that your students face. There's a lot of things that you can teach them, and maybe you have proven results teaching like 20 different things. Stick with one, okay? Get very, very specific. You want to get a result. Okay. You don't want to just get their money. You want your students to get results. When they get results and they love your course, then they are going to come back and they are going to come back with other people. They're going to refer your course to other people. So focus on a specific challenge. Are you trying to improve your students' pronunciation? Then you have a pronunciation course. Are you trying to get your students to write better? Have a writing course. If you're trying to get them to write creatively and not just boring sentences, have a course for that. We had some really cool courses that people were creating. Um, this month, a couple weeks ago, when we did our course challenge, and it was really cool to think of what we had. So we had a teacher that was teaching a cooking course for English. We had a teacher that's teaching music production. We had a teacher that was teaching how to teach a writing course, a teacher that was teaching how to teach a writing course. Can you say that 10 times fast? We had a whole bunch of different things in there. It was really cool to see all the different classes that people were creating. You're going to outline 3 to 5 lessons, okay? And you're going to break it into clear modules that build logically on each other. So you're going to figure out what the problem is and what the modules are for that. Then you're going to decide on your format. Which of those formats are you doing? Are you doing live, hybrid, mini, cohort? Which one did you like to do? How are you going to run it? If it's going to be hybrid, how is it going to be hybrid? What parts, what elements of the other ones are you putting in? Are you going to have live Zoom meetings? If so, how many weeks will you be having them for? Are you going to have are you going to have lessons drop like every day or every week? Are they just going to be able to go in and watch all the lessons when they want to? Will there be homework? Will there be assignments? Will there be a community that they can meet other people that are doing the course? So these are some things that you want to think about. You're going to record simply, okay? You don't need to be a professional videographer. You do not need to have flashing cameras and lights and make it like lights, camera, action, flashy, snazzy. You don't need that. Done is better than perfect. Start with basic tools and improve as you go along. It doesn't have to be crazy. And then launch small. Start with a pilot group, get feedback, and then before you do a huge launch and you have like 100 people sign up, make sure you have that first like 5, 10 people and get their feedback so that you can tweak it if you need to tweak anything. And again, you'll have less to tweak when you've taught it live before. But these are all just things to keep in mind. Okay. And Brenda said, pair, share, think, a common in classes that teach kids if it's a cohort. Yeah, that's really cool. We do that like our success partners, our battle buddies, or whatever you want to call it. So we do that a lot of different times. So if you want help building your course, you're going to go to this right here. Hold on, www.teacherboss society. Okay, so if you need help building your course, I'm going to put this in the comments here. You're going to go to teacherboss society.com. Teacher Boss Society is going to the modules are all up there right now, okay? We taught it a couple weeks ago live. You can get into the replays and you can still get help with it, and you can get the workbook and all of the prompts and everything that you need to build your course. I had one of the girls that did this said that she's been trying to build this course out for like a year, and the course building challenge that we did this month was the easiest. It was in like 3 days. This is like a 3-day challenge. In 3 days, she was able to have her entire course done. So if this is something that you're looking to do, you're gonna go to teacherboss society.com and join that. It's it's definitely worth it. This was one of my favorite challenges. I think I say that for every challenge, but this was a really cool one. Okay. Um, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm going to take off here before my kids get home and get really loud and rowdy. I will be live tomorrow with Grant at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I haven't put it up yet, but we're going to be coming on tomorrow to show some different AI tools that he's been using. I don't even like it's stuff that I haven't even used yet. So he's going to be teaching me too. So if you want, make sure you click subscribe, hit that bell notification, and then tune in Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're watching the replay, it's going to be in my live feed. And I will see you guys all later. All right. I'll see you guys in Teacher Boss Society. Bye, guys.